Greetings and salutations out there, sports fans all across the wide and wonderful internet. Time for another edition of Yeas and Nays, where we are going to look at my beloved Tennessee Vols losing again for the 15th straight time to the Crimson Tide of Alabama in what was once a great rivalry. Now it's still a historical rivalry, but it hasn't been competitive in a long, long time. But we'll break all that down. Of course, things I like, we give it a yay. Things I don't like, we give it a nay. Let's break it all down. So, of course, starting off with the final score at 52-24, a 28-point loss for Tennessee, which has been pretty much the norm with all of these games against Nick Saban. Tennessee really hasn't had a shot to win most of these games at the end. I think the last one really was in 2009 when Lane Kiffin was our coach and Mount Cody blocked that field goal, but that's a story for another time. We look at this game, again, the full result, nay, Tennessee losing, especially now losing 15 in a row to Alabama, definitely a nay. Hopefully Tennessee fans will get to light up those victory cigars one of these days. But I will say Tennessee's fighting spirit, definite yay. Tennessee was in this game until into the fourth quarter. It was back and forth. Tennessee actually had a lead against Alabama at the end of the first quarter, which I don't remember the last time that had happened. So Tennessee did some really good things. They also did some bad things, which of course we are talking about. But the deep balls, yay. Tennessee was able to take advantage, at least of those mistakes that Alabama seemed to break down in the secondary. They hit some really good deep balls. Hendon Hooker was able to play, which again, a yay for that. I think having him in there was able to keep Tennessee really, truly in this football game. So I really enjoy that. Hendon Hooker was a gamer. He had 19 of 28, 282 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, which we will get to. So Tennessee was able to finally get some deep balls to connect like they have been in a lot of their victories. So again, they were able to stay with Alabama. Going into the fourth quarter, we were in the fourth quarter. Tennessee was only down 1 score for part of that until, again, the bottom fell out. So again, a yay for that fighting spirit that it will give Tennessee. Coach Heupel has got these guys buying in to this system. The offensive line, and again, heck, most of the roster being held together, as I've said many times, by duct tape, walk-ons, and prayer, but they've been able to get it done and show that they are not going to just roll over. They're going to keep swinging. They might not connect, they might not get the victory, but they're going to go down fighting with that fighting spirit. You look at some of the things, though, that Tennessee did not do well. When I talk about nays, the biggest one, of course, was third down. Tennessee just had a miserable time on third down on their side of the ball and also on the defensive side of the ball. We look at the stats. Tennessee was 2 of 12 on third down conversions, while Alabama was 15 of 20. Tennessee apparently has a knack. They've done it with a few quarterbacks now, but they really like making a quarterback on third down, any quarterback, look like Michael Vick. I mean, Bryce Young is a very athletic quarterback. He's great. He was stellar in this game, but he has not run the ball much. But he was able to run the ball for 2 touchdowns in this game. He only got 42 yards, but my goodness, they were a big difference in this game. It just seemed like every time Tennessee could not get to him enough to get him out, and Alabama was able to just extend so many drives, which was frustrating. Tennessee plays fast on their end, but then when you can't get the defense off the field, and as fast as Tennessee plays, that defense can get exhausted. You look at what happened in the fourth quarter, and I think that was a big reason why Tennessee wasn't able to stay in it. Also, a nay were the penalties. Tennessee, when you looked at what they did against Pitt and Florida in those losses especially, those penalties have finally come back. So many false start penalties. Credit the crowd at Bryant-Denny Stadium making a lot of noise and causing Tennessee to go backwards and self-destruct in so many ways. And again, a great defensive game plan too with Alabama. A nay for Tennessee's rushing attack. Tennessee had been able to balance those deep balls with a very solid rushing attack. I think we were 6th in the country in rushing going into this game. But when you look at everything that happened, Alabama had 203 yards. Robinson just a battering ram by the end of the game with 3 touchdowns for the Crimson Tide. Tennessee only had 64 yards rushing. And when you try and get things to go the way Tennessee wants them to go, you have to have those deep balls to complement with the rushing attack, also to take some pressure off this offensive line. But Alabama was just able to clog up the middle. Tennessee could do nothing in the A-gaps at all. I can't even count right now how many times Tennessee was even in a second or third and short and just could not punch the ball through that A-gap and just get 1 or 2 yards to get a couple of first downs, to either at least get a first down, to not have a 3 and out, or at least keep a drive going, which was frustrating. Alabama did a great job coming through that and coming up against that battered offensive line of Tennessee's. One of course, the biggest nay that Tennessee had, yes, they were able to take advantage of some breakdowns in Alabama's secondary, but they were also not able to really take advantage of some of the other breaks that went Tennessee's way. Tennessee got a fumble in the first half, and I think they went 3 and out, mostly went backwards on that one, which was very frustrating. And then Tennessee blocks a punt in the second half, which was phenomenal. It could have really turned that game around. Then what ends up happening, we only get a field goal out of that. I think Tennessee just barely went anywhere on that drive and end up with only 3 points, which is still better than 0, but still really not enough. When you commit penalties, you don't run the ball very well, and you just don't take advantage of things when the ball bounces your way. You're just not going to beat Alabama and end this long losing streak. Also, a nay for more self-inflicted errors that Tennessee had, which include the interception. That was the real backbreaker, I think, for Tennessee. It happened so quick. Tennessee had just gotten back with the long bomb, I think it was 70-plus yards to Tillman to get it back within 1 score in this football game. And then on a 3rd and 15, again, 3rd down, rearing its ugly head again, Tennessee just gave up that long bomb. It was a great call on a 3rd and 15. I think Tennessee was also ready more for Bryce Young to run the ball, and instead they bomb it and hit Williamson for that 70 or 65-yard touchdown play, and then 1 play later, Alabama was able to run it in for the touchdown, which was really a gut punch. And then just what broke their back truly was the interception that Hendon Hooker threw. Someone, either Hendon Hooker or the wide receiver, made the wrong choice on that option route in the passing. Easy interception for Alabama. They scored later. Tennessee then failed to make a first down and turned the ball over on downs deep in their territory, and then end up losing by 28. So, of course, a nay there. A nay also for all of the bettors who bet on Tennessee. This is why you don't bet on your team. The line started at 28.5 when everything opened. So if you bet on Tennessee at that point, you won by half a point. Congratulations. But the vast majority of people did it with everything going down below 28 points. And there you go. You don't win that bet. That's why you never bet on your home team. Also, a nay, as I've said many times to especially the Alabama fans, since they're the ones who keep winning this rivalry game, poor cigar etiquette. I did love seeing all the cigar smoke there at Bryant-Denny Stadium. What I didn't like was, of course, the fans using Bic lighters, lighter fluid lighters, lighting the cigar. It's just, again, poor cigar etiquette because the lighter fluid can get all in the cigar tip. Also, you're not supposed to have the flame touching the cigar anyway. So it just ruins the taste of what hopefully were very good cigars that the Alabama students and players and everybody were able to smoke in that game. Also, one final nay, of course, for Alabama because, hey, it is a rivalry game and I gotta have a dig. I still do not understand why you play Dixieland Delight. Someone in the comment section, please let me know, because Dixieland Delight, yes, it's by the band Alabama, but it's a song about Tennessee. It's right in the lyrics. A Tennessee Saturday night. So please, in the comments, explain that to me. To me, it makes no sense. But one final yay for Tennessee. Again, I loved the fighting spirit that the Big Orange had in this game. Now Tennessee gets a bye week, a much-needed bye week to rest up and hopefully get some of these players back and much more healthy. Maybe even get Cade Mays back. He is a vital part of that offensive line. And then you have a game at Kentucky, a very winnable game, I think. I think ESPN right now has it as a coin flip, and I would love to see that, because if we can steal that one, then you beat Vanderbilt and South Alabama to wrap up your season. Tennessee could win 7 games, which would be even better than I thought the Vols were going to do going into this season. I think that would be a true success for this regular season. I'm not even worried about that Georgia game. Number 1 team coming into Neyland Stadium. I don't think that game's going to be very pretty. But let me know what you guys think about how everything went on the 3rd Saturday in October rivalry. Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, give this video a yay or a thumbs up if you liked it. Please, of course, don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter, Michael_Shibley, and you can follow me on Twitch as well, where me and my lovely wife, Mrs. Shibbles, play all types of video games, and we do watch-alongs for the football games as well. That is also over at Shibbles and Bits over on Twitch. So please check all those out. Go Vols, too sweet. See you guys next time.